Hey, my name is Dr. Habib. Today we're going to talk about fatty liver disease. The question is, what is fatty liver disease? As the name would suggest, it is fatty infiltration of the liver. Fancy word for saying the liver looks fat. If you imagine the liver to be a very bright, purple, healthy, blood-filled organ, imagine fat filling the spaces around that liver. It gets big, it gets whitish, creamy color, and that's literally what fatty liver disease is. Now, let me tell you what it feels like. The answer is, it doesn't have any symptoms. And so we have to rely on either some blood tests, like liver enzymes. If they're elevated, that may suggest there's some damage to the liver, at which point your doctor may run some tests, such as an ultrasound of the liver, and that would show up very clearly as fatty infiltration in the liver. It would look like an organ that was slightly enlarged. It would have density of fatty tissue versus healthy liver tissue. So let's go back to what a liver is supposed to do. A liver is designed to detoxify the body. So anything that you consume in the gut has to be absorbed into the bloodstream, filtered through the liver. You may imagine that's all it does, but in fact, the liver is an amazing organ. It's so amazing that actually you could remove 3/4 of the liver and it would grow back into the full size. So what the liver does is it functions at multiple levels. It supports the immune system. It supports the detox system. It makes amino acids. It processes your carbs and your fats, called carbohydrate and lipid metabolism. It makes clotting factors. So it's really more like saying, what doesn't it do? So imagine that healthy tissue that is supposed to do these wonderful things, that keeps your immune system strong, which supports the repair mechanism, eliminates bad things from your body, and is now being infiltrated by fatty deposits. That means that the function of that liver will go down, but you will not experience any direct symptoms from that in the short term. In the long term, the fatty deposits are going to create an inflammatory environment, and one of the consequences of the fatty liver disease is cirrhosis. And cirrhosis means that the liver tissue is now being replaced by fibrous tissue. It alters the shape, the architecture. It definitely affects the function and can, in many cases, lead to liver cancer. So, number one, what is fatty liver? Literally, fat stored in the liver. Now, the question is, why is it being stored in the liver? There's a very simple mechanism, and that is that when you feed your body excess number of calories, it has to store them for a rainy day in the form of triglyceride, which is a special type of cholesterol. Guess where that's deposited? In the liver. And so if you were able to expend the calories, then the fatty changes would be metabolized to create fuel. Okay. So really the cause is a excess of storage, and it's because there is too much intake, and in many cases it may be as a result of not enough output, exercise. Now let's go back to, in summary, what is fatty liver, fatty infiltration? How can you detect it? No symptoms. However, you can suspect it with elevated liver enzymes, an ultrasound that is consistent with fatty liver diagnosis. What would you do about it? There are a three-pronged approach. The first one is that at Next Health, we would customize a meal plan that is conducive to the opposite of storage. Number two, you want to support the liver with nutrients that are designed to optimize the function of the liver. Number three, you can implement a nutrient strategy. These mean, that is to say, nutraceuticals that will help accelerate the detoxification of the liver. Because indirectly, when you have fatty infiltration, you indirectly have a buildup of toxins. So the fatty liver disease is the third most common disease. Apparently 3 million diagnoses are made each year. Much of it's to do with the diet. Short term, you cannot feel any complications. Long term, you are losing the function, all the benefits of it. And the final stages of cirrhosis, which can lead to not only inability to make clotting factors, you can build up pressure with ascites, that's fluid in the abdomen. You can have what we call varices behind the esophagus. That means big pockets of blood vessels, which are prone to rupture and bleeding. So people with cirrhosis can vomit blood. So there's a lot of very serious consequences, and people that have cirrhosis for many, many years can also develop liver cancer.